What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back. And yes, you guessed it, today I'll be reviewing the top Pokemon card auctions of the week. Folks, I tried to condense the amount of auctions I'm going to review. I just couldn't. There's just so many. I tried to keep it below 100, alright? Tried to keep it below 100 auctions so this video wouldn't drag on, but there were just so many noteworthy auctions of all kinds of varieties I think you're going to really enjoy. So stay tuned for some delicious Pokemon card auctions. Thank you all for supporting the channel by watching my videos each and every week. I really appreciate it. And please, like I always say, use my eBay link below if you do any shopping on eBay to support the channel. It would help out tremendously, so thank you so much for doing that. Alright folks, let's jump right into these auctions of the week, starting out with Modern, as usual, with this here Celebrations Pikachu V-Union card, or part of it at least. This portion of the card in PSA 10 sold for $63.60, which is the same amount this portion of the card sold for as well. And then we had this part sell for $152.50. This one probably went for the most because it actually has the Pikachu V-Union title on it. We are missing the fourth piece, however. I'm not sure if that came through, but there you have it, folks. This is only the second time we've seen these cards come through in auction. Let's go over a bunch of evolutions from not only Evolving Skies, but Brilliant Stars, Fusion Strike, starting with this Leafeon V from Evolving Skies that sold as a PSA 10 for $173. And then we saw the Leafeon VMAX sell for $305 this week. Here is the Sylveon VMAX from Evolving Skies that sold for $371. And then the Sylveon VMAX from Brilliant Stars, not quite as impressive, selling as a PSA 10 for $169. Here's an Umbreon VMAX from Brilliant Stars that sold for $199, while the Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies, the secret rare card, still hitting the mega numbers, selling at $710 this week. And then lastly, for our evolutions, we saw a Glaceon V from Evolving Skies that sold for $257. Alright, some more graded cards from Brilliant Stars. Here is a Single Strike Urshifu VMAX. This is the black and gold variant that sold for $110. And the Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX sold for $110 as well. And let's not forget this Single Strike Urshifu VMAX that sold for $112. So, it seems like no matter what set Urshifu's in, doesn't quite command the premium price that other Pokemon do. Especially these black and gold cards, people just don't seem to be taking a liking to them, much like myself. Although this here Urshifu VMAX from Brilliant Stars had an awesome illustration, still only sold for about $112. Here's a couple of the big hitters from Fusion Strike. This is a Mew V alternate art card that sold as a PSA 10 for $315. Then the Espeon VMAX sold as a Gem Mint 10 for $425. And then the Gengar VMAX sold this week for $430. A couple of Rayquaza cards from Evolving Skies. Here's a Rayquaza V alternate art that sold for $291. And then the Rainbow Rare Rayquaza VMAX that sold for $330. Continuing on with some more modern. Here, remember this card? This is the Pikachu Holo from the McDonald's collection last year. This card was all the buzz, all the hype. This week it sold as a PSA 10 for $162. Here's the Sleepy Tyranitar V from Battle Style set that sold this week for $385. And then a Charizard EX from Flashfire set sold for $1,750. A couple of full art trainer cards. Here is a full art Lily from Ultra Prism that sold as a PSA 10 for $660. And then a full art Lycia from Celestial Storm sold for $609. And then here we had the Japanese Sun and Moon base set full art Lily card that sold for $2,035 as a PSA 10. On to the EX era, we saw all the legendary birds come through. Here's a Zapdos EX that sold for $465. The Articuno EX sold for $475. And the Moltres EX beat out the other two, selling for $696. We also saw from Fire Red Leaf Green this Gyarados EX in the PSA 10 sold for $840 this week. Here we saw a Crobat EX from EX Deoxys set that sold as a PSA 10 for $801. It's not often you see Crobat selling for as high of a price as that, but this week it did. On to some Heart Gold, Soul Silver. We saw a bunch of Prime cards come through. Now, as y'all know, I'm not a big fan of the Prime cards. Here is a Houndoom Prime from Undaunted that sold for $1,026. An Absol from Triumphant set sold for $262. The Slowking from Undaunted sold for $270. Celebi Prime from Triumphant set sold for $155. But if there is one Prime card that I do love, it is the Gengar Prime from Triumphant set Absolutely beautiful card that sold as a PSA 10 for $1,055. Also from Heart Gold Soul Silver, we saw a Gyarados Holo sell as a PSA 10 for $2,336. This card actually sold last week in a PWCC auction. I forget how much it went for, it was around this price. And then we saw our only English Gold Star in Vaporeon from EX Power Keepers that sold for $2,651. And the last card we're going to go through before we get to the WotC era of cards is this Groudon EX from the Japanese Double Crisis set, first edition, that sold as a PSA 10 for $660. Alright, heading into the WotC era, we saw a Alakazam holographic from Skyridge PSA 10 that sold for 1,246 big ones. The first edition Dark for Alligator Holo from Neo Destiny sold for $900 even this week. And then we saw a Dark Espeon Holo, this is unlimited from Neo Destiny, that sold for $981 US. The unlimited Shining Mewtwo sold this week for $1,191. Alright, from Fossil Set we have a Moltres Holo, this is also unlimited, that sold as a PSA 10 for $461. And then the Reverse Holo Moltres from Legendary Collection sold for $598. A first edition Holo Aerodactyl from Fossil sold for $937 this week. And then we saw a holographic Venusaur from base set sell for $1,636. Here's a first edition Holo Lapras that sold for $2,569. And a first edition Rocket Scyther from Gym Heroes that sold for $3,050. And then lastly on eBay from the WotC era, we saw a holographic Vaporeon first edition from Jungle Set sell for $7,873 US. By far the most valuable evolution from Jungle Set. Alright, before we get into our sealed product, I wanted to mention this Pikachu on the Ball 2020 Pokemon Futsal promo card that sold for $945 US as a PSA 10. Alright folks, on to the sealed product. Here is a 20th Anniversary Generations Elite Trainer box. Possibly the best design ever put on Elite Trainer box, and it sold for $610. An Evolutions booster box hasn't moved much in value. This week it sold for $710. And then we saw a case of Evolutions boxes sell for $4,300. An XY Flashfire booster box sold for $2,468, while an unlimited Fossil booster box sold for $6,150. Alright folks, up next, a bunch of very notable sales from the recent PWCC auction. Here we saw a BGS 9 no rarity symbol holo Japanese Mewtwo from base set that sold for $3,000 even. Here's an unlimited Shining Gyarados from Neo Revelation set that sold for $3,000 even as well. And then here is a Battle Road prize promo card. This is a Victory Ring in BGS 9.5 that sold for $5,640. And then we saw a 4-position only non-holo Blastoise card from Expedition set sell for $4,200. The Metal Charizard from the Ultra Premium Collection sold as a PSA 10 for $4,560. And then a 2015 Art Academy Pikachu card sold as a Gem Mint 10 for $8,400. Here is a Japanese Gold Star Rayquaza card that sold for $9,600 in auction. And then we saw Chef Pikachu right here cooking up a 5-figure card, and it sold for $10,800. A first edition Shining Charizard sold this week for $10,800. And then check this out folks, from EX Holon Phantoms we saw a Gold Star Gyarados sell as a PSA 10 for $16,800. Folks, this might be my favorite Gold Star card of all time. I love Gyarados, especially as a fire type Pokemon. This is a low pop Gold Star card, sold for over $16,000 this week. And to finish up the auctions of the week, we saw a bunch of cards from none other than SM Pratt, the GOAT, come by. Let's take a look at some of them. Here we saw a Tropical Wind World Championships card, quarter finalist in PSA 10 that sold for $6,100. We saw the semi-finalist stamped version of this card sell as a PSA 9 for $6,671. And then the top 16 stamp of this card sold as a PSA 9 for $3,821. He also sold a Gold Star Gyarados. It's the Japanese version though, and it sold for $1,850. An unlimited PSA 10 Shining Charizard sold for $4,125, while this unlimited Charizard from base set in PSA 10 sold for $9,900. It's kind of weird. I was watching this card, and it was like at $9,900 for several days before the auction ended. You know, normally like there's some heat at the very last second of these auctions, but no, it stayed at about $9,900. And a couple of Black Label cards to go over leading up to our auction of the week. Here is a Pikachu Japanese stamp box promo as a BGS 10 Black Label, and it sold for $3,357 US. A Black Label Pikachu Battle Festa card sold for $3,530 US. Which leads me to the auction of the week. We saw the very first Black Label Charizard V-Star from Brilliant Stars come by an auction, and it sold for the price tag of $5,322. And what's really crazy, folks, is when you compare this card to the PSA 10 version that sold for $550 this week, you realize that a Black Label copy of this card goes for about 10 times as much as a PSA 10. Thank you guys for tuning in. What'd you think of all these auctions? Let me know. I always look forward to hearing from you. That's all I got for you, folks. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you in my next one.